All right, welcome back to the Max Your Dash podcast. Thank you for listening, liking, and sharing. My name is Steve. I am your host, co-host Nate, and Mark. We're here. It's a sunny day. The birds are chirping. We're feeling good.
Welcome.
The woodpeckers are attacking the building.
Mark, how would you do an intro if it was your call?
I'd do some cool music.
We can do that.
I'd do a round of applause on that pink button.
I would go faster if you wouldn't laugh, but I would go faster. I would definitely.
I mean, it can be if you want. If that's just that, I mean, there has to be something unique. So if that's it, you keep doing it.
Yeah.
But I will laugh every time.
How have I been doing on recent episodes with my breathing? Am I still too much of a mouth breather?
List back the other one, but yeah, Nate's a chronic mouth breather, so we gotta the
I always
better
have a
mics.
stuffy nose.
Wait, you've seen those
Yeah,
the little things?
I bought it.
deviated
It's
septum?
kind of crazy.
Does it help?
It works.
Yeah.
Why don't you wear it to work?
Imagine if I had that on right now, the black one.
Oh my god.
All right. Okay.
Let's get into some Max Your Dash moments. Actually goes really well with today's episode. But
Why don't you start?
if you're new here, a Max Your Dash moment is a time you're feeling true joy and happiness. Could be something big, could be something small.
Got it.
This is what we're all about.
I got a visual.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
I got these new J's, and they're unreal.
Never know what's gonna come out of this guy's mouth.
Unreal.
Wait, those are nice.
Right?
Dude, you can never make fun of me for buying like any type of clothes ever again because those are sick. Like I'd wear those, but those are definitely like style choice. Dude, I
don't know how you
my
just-
respect level of you went up. But I knew you liked Jordans, but my respect level of you just went up.
The truth is, I got jealous that I didn't have any, and that's all Enzo wears is Jordans.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not fair. So I got myself some shoes.
You're shot.
Dude, I actually love that. Wait, do you have golf shoes, Jordans too?
I do.
Dude, see, this is why I love about Max Your Dash. Like, it can be buying something.
It can.
It can be.
Yeah.
But like,
Would you
Going
call that
into-
a luxury item?
It was $110. So
Is that a luxury item though?
I mean,
for you, I feel like you don't spend money on yourself.
Is
like
clothing kind of like
that.
a?
for shoes?
I don't spend money on
you
myself.
have,
Shoes?
you have kind of always been a clothing guy.
yeah, I would
Is
say
that like a high joy score?
yeah, I like these.
Start
shoes a lot.
sprinkling in the joy score.
yeah,
Is
yeah.
it a high joy score?
I like to buy nice golf polos.
Like when
and
you just
shoes.
look at the Jordan shoes purchase that you, I mean,
I'm happy about them. Very.
would you give yourself a 5-heart joy score on that?
Yeah.
Wait, those are flat. Dude, yeah, there's just something special about that joy score when you see the UPS driver roll up and you know that there's
I was
Jordans in there.
checking-
He probably bought them.
I was checking the FedEx
Oh.
tracking number
Yeah.
daily. For
Really?
Dude, I
Nothing.
love
Wow.
that
Daily.
feeling. I feel like an addict. You know that Matthew McConaughey meme of him like smoking? Like with his eyes wide?
No, in the Jordan hat
No.
in the picture, dude. You should look. They're sweet.
Oh, let me look this up real quick.
What do you think that? What do you think
That's
that
my-
is?
I mean, I'm setting myself up for a bad situation in 5 years when he knows what they are.
Yeah, he's gonna want.
Yeah. He's
He's gonna be a Jordan addict.
yeah.
Let's get it a good.
All right, I'm gonna give my Max or Dash moment. Can I? Can I go?
Wait, hold on. Yeah, go ahead.
This is so funny. The contrast here.
I planted.
By the
some,
way, these two are
some-
business partners. By the way,
I planted some
No.
cauliflower in the.
Yeah, I could go the route of planting fruit trees,
I
but
looked at the stars and they were really good.
so you guys have been to my house and you know the back deck that I have, and it's like a beautiful God's country
Slept
area
out there before.
Yep, we've slept on the deck before. Actually, funny story. Mark and I remember when we would listen to
Stranglehold.
classic rock, and look at the stars. Anyway, we Grayson's new favorite thing is to eat dinner outside with a fire with blankets on the
Dude,
floor.
that'll do.
And it's awesome.
Does it
And I've
work?
always been so sad that I actually am like disappointed in myself and my wife's how often we actually use the deck. Like we would only use it when like you guys would come over. Now it's like a thing. And Grayson loves it. And it is amazing. I love sitting out there.
If it works to make a kid eat dinner too, that makes it even better.
Dude, the contrast of those are so good.
So
But I think what the thing is, we all here can get down with everything. Like I can buy Nate, you like a new pair of shoes. And we all like doing what you just said. You know what I mean? Like I feel like those are all similar Max or Dad. Like if we all did that stuff. But
there's
it's
no
so
right or
funny.
wrong answer. It's all about you.
No, there isn't.
It's all about you. What are you gonna
Wait,
say?
okay, this is what I was talking about. I'm gonna zoom in on this, but this was Mark tracking the UPS for for Jordan. What was mine? What was I just gonna say?
I do have a side note. I also got my lawnmower back, and I got to mow my lawn. I enjoyed that too.
Really?
But anyways, go ahead.
Jeez, dude,
What would you give a Joy score on the bill for getting your lawnmower fixed?
Joy score?
Oh, the bill.
The bill.
The bill.
Wait, do you think it aligns with your values? How much did you have to work to afford that bill?
Not answering that question. It was $1,000 to get my mower fixed.
Jeez,
Well,
dude, that's
sorry.
a lot of
It
Jordans.
took you to the cleaners.
Well, no, it was.
Yeah.
You could
so
almost buy a lawnmower for that.
350 of it was the annual service, which I needed. So really, it was
Annual service. What is this? A Honda?
I had to get the old blade sharpened, the
Dude,
battery.
what
I got a new battery. I got oil change, spark plugs. They cleaned it.
How much money would I have to give you a month for you and your family to move into an apartment? Would you live in an apartment?
Like
I
a
would.
nice apartment.
I would,
Dude.
I would.
A nice one.
Honestly, you wouldn't have to pay me to do that.
Really?
It's probably something I would prefer.
All right. Let me do my
right, can we
Max
get
Dash
this thing back
moment.
on
Dude,
the
this
rails?
is my Max Your Dash moment, and this one's actually legit.
Are the other ones
This happened
not legit?
yesterday. No, I'm saying like you're gonna hear it and you're gonna be like, "That's bullshit." This is shout out my barber. This is like one of the best feeling haircuts I've had in so long, and it just, I mean,
Does look good.
I have been looking at myself, but it just, that feeling of a good haircut.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to get on weeklies. I'm a bi-weekly guy every other Friday.
I'm like a
this
once a
haircut
month
has
guy.
made
same.
me want to
go
go
that
weekly.
often for a
Oh yeah,
haircut?
standing every 2 weeks. Dude, it just makes you feel good. And this one was like extra special. I don't know why. And he said it. He was cutting my hair and he stops. And he looks at me and he goes, "Steve, this might be the best haircut I've ever given you." I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
Who's your haircut? Who's shout out to your barber?
Aaron Buckley. I have his name tattooed right here.
Aaron.
Ace of Fades.
Ace of Fades. Shout out
Dude,
Ace of Fades.
What you guys should
Sponsor?
go. I've actually gotten a lot of people
I
to go.
love
Like
I love my
Matteo
barber.
switched to him. He's great.
We're a Bullsies guy.
What's that? Yeah, wait.
Odie.
I thought you
Shout
went to
out
that
Odie.
one place with the.
It was Millsies.
Yeah.
but Odie left, started up Bullsies, and Odie is the man. Shout out Bullsies. Odie at Victor.
God, I love a
great.
good. I
He's
love a
great.
good haircut. That's a huge Max Your Dash moment. Okay,
Let's
this is
do
actually
it.
perfect because we're talking about Max Your Dash stuff today. This is kind of like
Can we make that a thing too? Shout outs.
shout outs. Yeah.
Free
It doesn't really
sponsorship.
matter with 170 subscribers.
We need
but
free.
eventually.
We need to.
Imagine when we have
free
10,000
shout-outs.
subscribers and we just shouted out your barber for free. Massive.
10,000 new people.
Okay, so this is a huge Max Your Dash episode. This actually I feel like gonna get pretty deep, but our friend Nathan here, he likes to read a lot of books. And did you actually read this book?
I have read some of it.
You have? Okay.
Uh-huh.
Well, how long ago was
I've-
this?
So I'm. This is the thing with audiobooks, man. Is I can't confidently say that I read the whole book, but like once I kind of get the gist of it,
Yeah.
my
I used
attention
to
span
do.
changes.
I used to be a big audiobook guy, and it would take me a month to get through a book.
yeah.
So Max Your Dash, you guys probably see this everywhere. If you're a brand new person, this is gonna be your first time seeing this, but you see it on the wall behind us on our social media, everything we talk about. Max Your Dash is all about living a life of fulfillment. The dash it's referring to is the dash on your tombstone. It comes from the poem The Dash by Linda Ellis, but essentially it's a metaphor for your life. We want to help people maximize that dash or live a life of fulfillment because we don't have a lot of time. And we want you to realize that time is your most important asset. Essentially, don't die with regrets. And this book, Nate's about to get into it, talks about the top 5 regrets of people dying.
That's the literal title. Is the top 5 regrets of the dying
Crazy.
by Bronnie Ware. Cool story. So Bronnie Ware was a what was the type of nurse she was?
Palliative?
Yeah,
my
what does that
God.
mean?
What is that? Is
That's
that
the end of life nurse. So
Oh,
their job
gotcha.
is literally making people comfortable before they die.
Okay,
I should never-
So she's in Australia.
It's a tough job.
That's her job. She's taking care of the dying. And so she started interviewing these people, asking them about their top regrets. And
Yeah.
she did this for thousands of patients and then wrote a book called The Top 5 Regrets
Yeah.
of the Dying to try to help,
Yeah.
inspire people to like
live?
realize like, that these are the most common regrets and you can avoid that by
And how does this,
recognizing that?
how does this lead into Max Your Dash?
I mean, it's
a perfect parallel.
Yeah. I don't know if there's a better parallel. I mean, like you just said, we're all about living, like we want to maximize joy in our life. And so I think we don't want to have regrets, but like life goes by so fast that we might think we don't want to have regrets, but they're just building. Like you just people just like are cruising through life, and it's not hard to have regrets. Is kind of what I'm trying to say. And so I think by like talking about this today, being more aware of it should change your behavior in the way that you're approaching your day-to-day life.
The key thing is people realize these things when it's too late on their deathbed.
And you can't do much about it.
Exactly. So if we can get you to see this stuff and start living a more intentional life because of it, and obviously this is going to wrap into financial planning, but there's an overarching theme of how you can live your life. But, that's the idea of a regret. You know what I mean? You realize it too late. I mean, these people were literally on their deathbed. There's nothing they could do about it. So I think there's a lot we can learn from this and tie it into Max Your Dash.
And I also want to say, like I sent you that post to share the other day about like, you're never too old to like, start making changes.
100%.
I think that's an important point too.
Look at Dana White.
Yeah. Good point. Like you could be 65 years old right now and have a lot of regrets. Okay. You still got years left, buddy.
Right.
Let's go.
It's
Let's
crazy.
make changes.
I mean, hearing that shout out Bronnie, crazy, but I am never complaining about my job again. You imagine you have to wake up, going to work, and you have to take care of people who are dying. And by the way, she took it a step further and asked these people their regrets. Think about how powerful those conversations were. I mean, she literally read a book, but I mean, I personally, you guys know me, I would fall into a spiral of depression.
I don't know I couldn't.
I don't think I
either.
could do that. I can't complain ever again.
You're literally cleaning shit off of adults every day.
Dude, shout out our healthcare professional people. I freaking
a lot of shout outs
suck.
today.
I'm like, what the heck? All right.
So
we're going to get into,
we're going to
go into the regrets. I have them here. Is it cool? We're just gonna go one by one, and I have some talking points for them.
Okay.
Again, these were the top 5 most common regrets when she was interviewing her patients at the end of their life. The first one was, I wish I'd had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. Crazy.
I think I mean, these were old people. Think about how much that's happening now.
Yeah.
It's I think way worse now.
I think it's a billion times worse because of
social media.
The devil.
And it literally is like it drives me nuts. I mean, every single day people are comparing how their life is to others.
Yeah. The thief of joy is comparison. Dude, this leads perfectly with our keeping up with the Joneses thing. This is how people get stuck in the rat race. They try to compare themselves to others. They want to buy the car, the house, the cool clothes. They're making these decisions for other people.
Yep.
Got $15,000 of custom suits to prove it.
Yeah.
Collecting dust.
Yeah. Well, there's a good anecdote. Yeah. Like you felt like pressured to do that. Yeah. It wasn't necessarily what you wanted to do. Maybe you felt at the time you wanted to do that, but like
I thought I did.
That's just how easy it is, right? To fall into these traps. And I think like as we're going through these, we should be trying to identify like 1 or 2 tactics to help people who are listening. Like just ask yourself the simple question, like where in my life am I doing things for other people that I don't actually really want to be doing? And I mean, that's a big one if you really think about it. And here's like, so social media has got to be the worst example of that right now. Another one is like family pressure. Feeling like you have to do something because of family is a common one that I see. And that's not really true. I mean, this is your life. You can identify what you want your dream life to be and go do it. And sometimes the hard part is like, you might have to have some difficult conversations with people that are either family members or close friends, but they're adding more toxic, stuff to your life than they are adding like joy.
Wilcox always used to talk about, shout out Wilcox, another shout out.
All right, no more shout out.
The chosen one. He always called his wife the chosen one. He's like, you don't choose your family, you do choose your wife though. And he's like, so he's always made it her a priority in his life because he's the one that he chose. Everything else was he didn't just whatever happens.
And friends are chosen too.
So. It's essentially make sure your money and your time reflect your values, not someone else's.
And
don't do anything to impress someone else.
And step one is, what are your values?
Yeah, get clear with
really
what
think
that
like
is.
a super low percentage of people are clear on that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. No, I agree. Because I think like
We might be working on something to help people figure that out.
yeah, we will
Kinda
we
crazy.
definitely are. All right. Regret one. I wish I had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. I think you guys should pause the video right now. What's one area in your life right now where you're doing something just to please others? You know, this is awesome. You're listening to this, but do a little reflection. It's only 5 things. Reflect a little bit and take some action on it.
Yep. That's beautiful.
Number 2. I wish I hadn't worked so hard. This is
2-week notice today.
wait. So this is
This is a great one.
yeah, because I'm actually interested because remember you said that you wanted me to get rid of that picture because it said like work. Because there's a dichotomy in this is like we do believe in like working hard. We are definitely the work hard, play hard people. We aren't saying don't work hard, but you got to find the fine line.
And work for some people is a huge part of their joy. Like some people will get tremendous fulfillment from the work that they're doing. In fact, maybe it's the most fulfillment of any area of their life. But then there are others that aren't. But the common regret that I think does happen is like, again, we've talked about this before. And I remember there was an awesome stat we found, like some numbers of like, what percentage of your life are you working?
Yes.
And it's the biggest percentage.
Between sleep and work, you basically have no time left.
Yeah. So it's, again, this is another one where I feel like you got to have a real honest conversation with yourself. Like, is work really the thing that brings you the most joy?
Yeah.
Or are you sacrificing your family? You know, like, and that it's a tough one because,
Or, I mean, maybe another route there is like, are you working at the right place? Are you doing the right job?
yep.
Because it's not that big of a deal if you're spending 60 hours a week and you actually
And
love
you
it.
can find like a lot. You always say this. You find fulfillment in your job. Like you say that people like as humans, if you aren't like personal achievement, like working towards something, like people literally die when they don't have that thing. So it's not bad to work. It's just finding that balance.
Yeah. And I think the point is like the classic example would be like the dad that was working so much he never went to his kids' ball games or whatever. Like that's kind of what this is getting at. But you know, and so like, how does that? It's so interesting to think like, why does that happen so often? You know, like why are there so many people that choose to like prioritize their work over their kids, their family, their whatever? It's interesting.
Does it mean other things too? Like, well, I don't know if this is a good example, but like when you get home, you immediately start working at home too.
That's another one. Yeah.
Like you know, I think that there's certain scenarios where like you have to do that. You can't pay someone always to do stuff, but there's value in paying people to do stuff that so you have more time with your family.
I think the problem is too, like people, I don't necessarily know if the problem is working. I think it's the problem that people are working at a place they hate. Most of the time is like people are doing work they don't even like.
That's
so it's
definitely
double
a big
bad
thing. But that is, I'm glad you just brought that because I wasn't even thinking about that, like working in the evening when you shouldn't be.
Yeah.
There's a lot of jobs that require, like people feel obligated to have to do that. Because and it kind of comes back to the first regret of like you're doing things for other people. You don't want to let other people down.
Yeah.
You know, whatever. And to me, I think like the tactic or the solution here is like, again, it's about getting clear on what is actually bringing you joy, prioritizing those things, time blocking those things, because these days just slip away.
Yeah.
And you're spending it all working, and then you're not happy, and you're wondering like, and you're kicking yourself for that someday down the road, and it didn't have to be that way.
Yeah.
I started this a long time ago, and Steve, you definitely know from experience. When I get home, I'm done. The computer doesn't get opened again. I don't even take phone calls.
Yeah.
So it's just I'm completely shut down as soon as I get home, and it's purposeful. I needed the off switch.
Yeah, that kind of sucks for us though, because like if I call you, you think I'm calling you for work, but what if I was calling you as your friend, Steve? Well, I would never do that, but like, what was the last time I called you as your friend?
Well, think about it from this perspective. Like
3 years
like
ago.
what time do your kids go to bed?
7:30.
What time do you typically get home from work?
Like 5:30.
So you got 2
crazy.
hours of a whole day
Yeah.
to spend with your kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's why you have to be intentional. That's why you got to shut it off. And that's great that you do that.
What about me?
Do whatever you want.
You're kind of maxing your dash a lot.
You do whatever you want.
Dude, actually saying that out loud, I kind of feel bad. Like
I think can I just say one other thing? Like maybe your career is really demanding and you like it, and you have kids and whatever, and it is a tough, it's a difficult situation between you and your spouse, like how much you're working, but you love doing it and it's really meaningful to your family. I don't think that's bad necessarily, but here's what's bad. Doing that and not intentionally time blocking when you're going to do stuff with your family. And I think the solution there is like, okay, like look at Monday through Friday, I am going to be working 60 hours a week because I have to build this business to be like our dream. But we have this family vacation planned in 3 weeks where we're taking Thursday to Sunday to go to this, like whatever, like you got to always have something on the calendar where you're going to actually unplug.
You have to be intentional. The whole job, working a job, especially in today's day and age, puts you on the treadmill of life. And if you don't come up for some air, take your head out of the sand and be intentional with the moments, it's going to be 10 years.
Yeah.
You went, because like you said, you get to work at 9, you're done at 5, you got 2 hours when you get home, you're going to bed. Like, it's crazy. This is for everyone. You know what I mean? So you have to play life on offense. You have to be urgent. And like, people take their, like,
I love that. Play life on offense.
They play this like this is just their life and there's nothing they can do about it. Yep. That's the thing. Like, that's that frustrates me is like, people are like, this is just my life. That's what happens is like, you can take like, charge.
I keep saying this, days slip away and maybe it's not resonating enough. Like it just like I'm 37 years old already. I can't believe that. I'm at the halfway point basically. Like, holy shit.
Jeez.
But two, another thing I want to plug is my wife and I have very demanding jobs. And this would be really easy for us to fall into the trap of. And one of the decisions we made at the start of this year was the Max Your Dash chalkboard in our kitchen, where every week we identify what we're doing this week as a family to max our dash. And it's like a goal every week. And it's helped. It really has helped because that way, like on a Thursday, like maybe tonight we are both really busy with work and stuff, but like we have something we're looking forward to that we intentionally planned.
Yeah.
Next.
Nate's got a demanding job. Why don't we show your outfit today? This guy knows what he's doing.
I'm an anti-suit and tie guy.
He's been trying to get to, Axelrod status for a long time.
Bobby?
He wants the KISS shirt on or like
AC/DC.
Why don't you just wear it, dude? I'm wearing
a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Let's get to the next one.
All right. 3. I'm great with this one. I wish I'd had the courage to express my feelings.
I'm great with this one, Steve.
Am I not? This is an interesting one that I think this is the one where I probably wouldn't expect to be on the list mostly, maybe.
Yeah,
like people keep things bottled up a lot. Like how they actually truly feel. Emotional wealth is a part of a full life. Are you bottling stuff up to stay safe? Would you guys say you are? No, I think you guys are pretty good at speaking your mind. You definitely are. But you said you got nothing going on.
Yeah,
so I think what are you expressing?
Dude, I can go into a mode where like there's just nothing going on up there, and it's awesome. It's awesome.
It's because you're working so feverishly.
We talk about it on the golf course all the time. Like Nate and Adam might be like thinking through this shot, and they get in their head about things, and I literally just walk up and hit the ball, and whatever happens.
That's so you, dude.
And it's just I just don't have any thought. I don't have a swing thought. I just go up and do it.
Wait, so you're not bottling any feelings up? You just
He's an open book. I mean,
I get in trouble.
Took
his
shoes off on here. Yeah.
I get in trouble for that. Like I
think the point of this one, and I could probably relate a little bit to this one, to thinking deep on it, is like I think a lot of people don't maybe share like what's really going on because they don't want people to view them a certain way or whatever. So it's a little bit of like status games in some way. And that stuff kind of builds and builds over time, and it can create real problems for people. And it can hurt relationships. You know, like one of the things that I think about when I hear that one is like how many relationships do people have in their life where they need to have a conversation with that person, and they just don't, because they don't want to share their emotions on it, because you got to get vulnerable.
Yeah.
And then that relationship never really gets to the place.
That's probably what that means. I could see that meaning like you didn't have a good relationship with your parents and you didn't resolve it before they died.
Yeah.
Something like
Yeah.
that.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just, I love a good cry. Okay. Number 4.
So what's the tactic on that?
The tactic, I think what you can do is have one brave conversation in a time period. Maybe it's the next month, the next thing. Have a conversation, like you said, like resolve something with your parents or your family or something. Have a conversation.
Or maybe even if that's too overwhelming to do, because maybe that's like a big pain point, it's like at least do some small act like this week,
Right.
Where you're going to express your emotions to somebody in some way, shape, or form. It could just be telling somebody in your life how much you appreciate them.
Yeah.
And you just, again, like most things, it's kind of a habit you got to develop.
Right.
But
All right. Number 4, this one. I wish I had stayed in touch with my friends.
I feel like I think I got
Do pretty good
I don't
on
got
that.
to worry about this one.
Oh, dude, I don't got to worry about this one either. I'm so good at this one. Well, besides, I literally just said this, that I do feel kind of bad. Like, when was the last time that we talked on the phone, like not about something on work? Probably the last time I broke up with a
Honestly,
girl.
it was probably before we had kids. That has been the biggest change.
No, that has nothing to do with it. I feel as though we just like
Well, no, but pre-kids, we did used to hang out all the time.
we did. Yeah.
But it's just, there's no fucking time. We just went over that. Especially because I go to sleep at 9.
Right.
This is not that what you just
This
said.
is the exact.
We might be in the beginning stages of this becoming a problem.
Okay,
Yeah.
I just saw a clip yesterday. I was going to send it to you about this. It was like this. He had a British accent, but he was talking about how men from age 35 on, they're basically, they stop seeing their friends. That's like the trend that happens on average, is that men from 35 years old on stop hanging out with their friends, and it becomes a big problem.
Wait, but I feel like the thing with guys is you could just like pick back up with your boy.
Again, yeah,
That's
but
true.
like it kind of makes some sense, right? Because like we're right now, our kids aren't even in school yet; they're not playing sport. Like, so eventually, your life is going to be like not just Monday through Friday. I got to make sure I'm home with and then it's like I got games on the weekend. I have literally no time to play golf with my guys anymore. I can't.
I guess it is true over the winter. That's pretty true here.
What?
Like, I don't feel
Like
that
seeing-
way right now because golf's back. And like, that's a guaranteed
Once a week.
4 to 8 hours with your boys and with a bunch of other friends there too. So that like protects it. But I think you're probably right that like, all right, weekend sports are going to be starting in a couple of years, and then, oh God.
Yeah. It's another one of these things you got to just be intentional about. You got to have like another thing that, the wife and I do is like a quarterly family.
You ever do anything alone?
One of the core values we have is friends. And Nicole and I always try to pick like who is one friend we want to make sure this quarter we do something with.
Jeez, I haven't been on that list. It feels like.
No, you haven't been on that list, Steve. I see.
Dude, I'm going to a coffee networking event on Sunday with an old friend.
You are gonna go?
That's
Yeah, we're
not-
going.
Wow.
An old friend.
It's a Geneseo alumni thing. I gave Nate 5 guesses. You're
God,
not
that sounds
no
so
shot.
bad.
So you gotta be intentional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we might be taken for granted. We could be entering a tough phase here.
I think I'm thinking about my friends that I'm in good standing with. I'm really good at keeping a close circle, but the people that I could probably work on the most are you guys for sure.
I would agree with that.
It's kind of
But like,
weird.
what would I even talk to you about if I called you?
Okay, but here's the thing.
talk about.
You say that, but you're not thinking that much about it because if you look at your phone, I bet you we've texted each other almost every day for like the past 30 days.
Yes. Yeah.
So it might not be like a full-blown conversation or hanging out, but there's something funny happening between us that's not work related.
Yeah, like you're a pinned contact. Like I text you a lot, but I think you're right.
You're pinned contact number 1 still.
I know.
left.
Because I showed you how to do it. But you're right. It's being more intentional. Like I think like the tactic here is like literally make that phone call or just send the text message to a friend you've been meaning to catch up with. My best friend since childhood lives in New York City, and I'm really bad at keeping in touch with him. But if you just send a text message or a call, like you feel so much better after.
Do you have friends other than us with kids yet?
No.
Yeah. So like, I just think the reason I brought that up is my buddy Joe does a good job of this. He makes, because like he knows I'm going through the wheel of life. He makes sure to call me like every month, and we talk for like 2 hours.
It's really helpful when you have that person that they're good at they're the planner. Like they like make it happen.
Yeah.
I'm not that person.
Dude, I'm surprised that none of these are like, I wish I had stayed in touch with my friends. There's nothing on here about family. That's so weird.
They weren't chosen.
Last one, number 5. I wish that I had let myself be happier. And I think, like, I was thinking about this one, and it's because I think most people, they realize too late that happiness can be a choice. I think.
Yeah, I wish I'd let myself be happier. I feel like that, like that to me, the way I think about that is like, again, people like live a large percentage of their life doing like things they feel are like obligations or responsibilities and not taking time for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I thought of like, is it people are just being too hard on themselves all the time, too critical of themselves all the time? I don't know, because I struggle with this.
That's probably
I don't
a
have
good
like
point
that
too.
big of a struggle with.
Yeah,
there's I think especially again we're dominating this conversation with how hard it is as a young family, but like especially when you have young kids and you have a demanding career and you got social media staring you in the face all the time. Like there's a lot of people that just don't make time for themselves. They prioritize everyone else, their kids, their spouse, their friends, their career. They don't take time for themselves to do things that make them happy.
Yeah. I'll add you said brought up the family thing, because this is the topic of this. We've always talked about this before. If you like do the age of your parents, so like my mom's 67, life expectancy, let's just say it's 20 years left, and then you do the amount of times you're going to see her, right? Yeah. That goes through my mind a lot. I'm surprised there isn't wasn't on the top 5 either.
Because these people are, I mean, if these people are old and dying, though, their parents have probably passed away a long time ago. You know what I mean? So they probably worked through that regret.
If you interviewed people of their biggest regrets at different life stages, that'd be an interesting book. Should we write that book?
100% the different life stage regrets.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I want you guys, which one feels which one resonates with you the most personally? I'm going to go over them again real quick.
Yeah.
Okay. So think about it. All right. These are the top 5 most common regrets of the dying based on Bronnie Ware's book. Number 1, I wish I'd had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. Number 2, I wish I hadn't worked so hard. Number 3, I wish I'd had the courage to express my feelings. Number 4, I wish I had stayed in touch with my friends. And number 5, I wish that I had let myself be happier.
Are you asking like which one's like most true in our own life, or like which one?
No, you personally. And then like which one, I guess like
the most important one to me feels like the first one, which is living a life true to yourself. Yeah. I don't necessarily feel like I have good examples of me not doing that right now, but I could see like that's something I should always make sure I'm protecting.
The one that I would say resonates
it's like
the most for me
yes, like I'm thinking like the one that stands out to you the most.
Yeah, is the friends one. Again, like it kind of ties into the first one too, but like friends are the family you choose. These are the people that probably actually make you feel the best and are the happiest spending time with, and so you should just max that thing out. Like. Be as intentional as you can about spending as much time. Like I'm going on my annual turkey hunting trip next week with some of my closest friends. Like I can't ever let that die. Nothing can get in the way of that because it makes me so happy.
I think I see your point more now. Like this could easily slip away. It could be something that easily, like you skip that hunting trip this year
one time.
Because you didn't do the invitation
Wes
last year.
is going to be having a kid soon. We're all going to have kids. How easy is it to be like, we can't. We got this going on. We can't. And that could be true. But like again, there's no excuse, in my opinion, of like you should be able to do things for yourself. There's no excuse for that. But the problem I think that happens in a lot of marriages, especially, is like it becomes too much of like a fighting thing. And like you were going down the rabbit hole of like this is a lot easier for guys than girls, it seems like. And I think the point is like, you got to have good conversations with your spouse on these are the things that make me the happiest. I want to, how can I be doing these things, but also still be a great partner, great husband, great father, great whatever. But the friends thing, man, I don't know, that's huge to me.
I agree.
Dude, it actually happened in my Florida trip. We skipped 1 year and never went again. That was it.
Yeah. Let's bring it back.
Didn't know.
You're not very
Could bring it
intentional.
back.
You're the worst guy to have.
15-year anniversary. Been a long time.
That's crazy. Wait, so yours was what?
The first one. Living a life
Living
true
like
to
yourself, and yours one was the friends.
What about you?
I think like the one that stands out like is the friends one the most, but because I feel like I don't really have a problem with that, like I really prioritize this. I definitely think I wish I hadn't worked so hard. And not because like I'm a grinder, but I just think this is I think this is the one that is so easy to fall into this trap because people have so much going on. They do their 9 to 5. Like you spend the most amount of time sleeping and working. You know what I mean? And that's not a bad thing, but no one's intentional outside of those hours. So I feel like everything else just falls into I work too hard. It's not bad to work, but unhealthy amount of no balance, not doing things that bring you joy. And oh, by the way, if you're doing work that you don't even like in the first place,
that's
what I think that most people get caught up with. And then it's frustrating because they're like, wait, I can't change this. That's what we want to do is change people's mindset. This is in your control. You can change this.
Yep.
Yeah, I think the wild thing with the sleep and work, like right now, as a percentage of my life, that's probably 75% of my life.
Yeah, because you go to bed at 9 o'clock.
Right.
Just stay
That's
up
what I'm
later.
It's
What
hard.
are you doing?
It's hard.
What do you think about this topic?
Wait, can we just
you got
tie
something?
this in quickly with what we do, financial planning?
Sure.
Because I mean, we plaster this everywhere. What is your most important asset? Is it NVIDIA?
Time.
Yes. I was gonna go on a rant. I was gonna go Tesla,
sorry.
the S&P 500 index, the Dow Jones. What should I invest in? It's gonna be like timestamp. It's gonna be clickbait. This is your number one investment. This is gonna make you rich. You're gonna be richer than Warren Buffett. By the way, he quit. That sucks. But this is going to be the thing. And they're gonna be like, wait, what's the ticker symbol? It's not. It's time. Boom.
$sign time.
Yeah. Because guess what? I'm richer than Warren Buffett because I got more time than him. True or false? This is what he says. Is like, if he would switch places with me, would he? Me specifically? Probably. Gets another 60 years.
We don't know.
I just saw it the other day. He's accumulated I think it was 90% of his wealth after he turned 65.
Yeah. Would you guys switch places with Warren Buffett right now?
No.
Right
now?
No, because he's going to die soon.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because he has less time than you.
Yeah.
You have all time. It doesn't matter about how much money he has. All this stuff is you have more time. I mean,
100%.
We'll never have more money than Warren Buffett, but still.
No.
But can you go into a little bit about how okay, this is all great, but how does this relate to my finances?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell a story. So I have a client who had a very demanding job that was, I think a lot of these things tie into the family wanted this person to have this type of career. You go through 10 years of education to get into this career, to make all this money. You have all this debt. You could very easily become, what was it, number 2 or 3, the work one?
Yep.
Where you regret that you worked too hard. And in our conversations, we identified what her dream life looks like. And then how much money does it take to actually do that? And how many hours a week do you need to be working to do that? And we built a plan to get there. And it took a couple years, but they got there. And they were able to get rid of all of this pressure of family pressure, job pressure, finance pressure, got more time back in their life, and are just infinitely more happy now. And so I think that's what we help people do is our little slice in this is we want to help you get clear on your values. We want to help you get clear on joy. What actually brings you joy. Certainly we want to maintain financial security. And so for some people, this might take 10 years before you can actually like quit the job that is stressing you out all the time. But the point is, have a plan, and we're going to build you a plan, and then we're going to follow the path to getting to the end of that. And when you accomplish that, it's an amazing feeling. When you feel like you're in control of your time and your money, and you have great relationships in your life, there's nothing better than that. And that's how I think financial planning and like this life stuff like intersect.
No,
perfect. And it all starts with spending the time to identify what you really want. And I don't think anyone does that.
Right.
I think that's a sad thing.
Yeah.
People need to spend a lot more time to themselves.
It feels so good to do it too.
Yeah.
Like when you sit down and just get irrational for a couple hours thinking about what you could be doing in your life, it's fun.
Yeah.
It feels good.
Yeah. I agree. So what you got to do is to avoid all your regrets, just max out a Roth every single year. That's exactly what you do it.
How have you not talked about the emergency
Give me a
fund?
break, dude. I bought the emergency fund. Have I really labeled myself as the emergency fund guy?
Yeah, absolutely.
I hate how you guys kind of like poo-poo on it.
See, you just started defending it again. You are the emergency fund.
You know, it'd be a fun episode to do along these lines of this topic in a future one like this. Maybe we start doing like book reviews.
Yeah.
Is we should do the Naval Ravikant how to get rich without being lucky, famous like tweet storm he did. Have you ever read that?
No, I've never. Is it good?
Dude,
really
it's
good.
so up your alley of the way you're
Wait, so
talking
without
about-
getting famous?
without getting lucky.
Oh, without getting
How
lucky.
to get rich without getting lucky, but it's about time.
Really?
This
I've
is
never-
like a Silicon Valley founder, crazy successful, who has
Yeah.
done a 180 on his life from work hustle culture to
chill.
balance but like being clear on stuff. It's really good.
Dude, I love that you've probably read countless books on this, but I challenge you to read a book for fun, man. I mean, does this guy...
I read kid books.
I want the opening line to be, and the dragon stared him down, not your life is this and that. I mean, dude...
That does not sound fun to me at all.
No, not you, but like, it's like, oh my God, listen... If you want to live a life of fulfillment, Nate's your guy. But oh my God. I mean, it's crazy.
I mean, I actually think so I don't read a lot of books anymore, but I listen to a lot of things.
Yeah.
I mean, my top 5, I mean, it's going to have like hunting in there. I'm listening to, like, is that
that works.
entertainment?
You would be shocked to know that I do own, and I used to, like Angels and Demons. You ever read that book?
No.
Dan Brown writes some good books.
Dan Brown?
But this was honestly like 15, 17 years ago that I liked reading books like that. And
I would be.
I got World War Z. You've heard of that?
You probably read like all the Lord of the Rings.
We like
books
different things.
Or no,
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
Harry
books.
Potter. I read all of those.
Yeah, I couldn't even.
Oh, you're missing out. Yeah, Harry Potter world's amazing.
All right.
All right.
I'm done. I'm out.
We're done. All right, guys. Thank you for listening, watching the Max Shadows podcast. We will catch you in the next one.
Securities and investment advisory services offered through Osaic Wealth Inc., member FINRA SIPC. Osaic Wealth is separately owned, and other entities and/or marketing names, products, or services referenced here are independent of Osaic Wealth.